buckle in, get ready, because this ride is going to be one of the most amazing rides you've ever taken as far as a particular subject. You know, when you start to criticize something and you just start to add more things to it and make it more crazier than it sounds, you know, you got to wonder where this is all coming from. But before we start, don't forget the 4 words: subscribe, like, support, share. Thank you again for supporting us here at Man with the Show and Cast TV. This helps us to build a bigger and better network. We are striving to bring more programming, stuff that will interest you, the viewer, here on Cast TV. Also, in the background, if you're still hearing weird noises, if you didn't catch us on the 5 o'clock slot or 8 o'clock slot, if you hear noises in the background, our air units are blasting just a little bit. In fact, we just added new filters to our air cleaners. If you hear me coughing every once in a while, it's allergens and stuff like that. Basically, we have some good filters on there because dust does kick around up here, you know, because of the units we use. And then, of course, with the air conditioning and the fans that blow to keep everything cool, you know, it gets kicked around a bit and you just end up hearing a lot of coughing. And I do apologize for that. And we're trying to beef up everything. In fact, we're adding more air filters, you know, to the studio area. But this, oh my God, this is just totally insane. This came out of the Independent about a day ago. And we're not going to read into it because everybody else has read into it, but I'm just going to highlight one thing about, okay, let's put it in this perspective. Here's what's going on as far as, you know, you look at this when it comes to the mainstream media, how they try to push narratives on people. They use trigger words. They use words that will, you know, try to frighten you into the situations. You'll hear the terminology alt-right. You'll hear the N-word from the German group on there. You may hear the C-word camp also, because now we're getting blocked on that. You may also hear the terms, let's see, you'll hear Comicsgate, Gamergate, Animegate. You know, you may hear SJW, you know, feminism, you know, a lot of trigger words that basically, you know, cause people to get upset on a lot of things. Mary Sue, you know, and let me tell you, it gets ridiculous. And what we're talking about here is today, if you have digital download, Amazon, stuff like that, Alita Battle Angel is finally coming out on video. And, of course, they're going to slam this movie. Now, I haven't seen it. I have had friends, family around me say it's a great movie. They're anime fans. And it says it's pretty close. This could be the best anime transfer to live-action movie that's done so far out of all the anime movies that are out there. And, you know, the live-action anime. You know, when you have something like this, and, you know, it did pretty well. I mean, it did over 400,000 on there, and most of it was from overseas. They loved it in China, you know, and it happened to be a good action film. It's a Robert Rodriguez. I love Robert Rodriguez, you know. I've always was a big, movie The Grindhouse. I love that movie. A lot of people didn't like it. Because you know what I think it was with Grindhouse with Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino, is that a lot of people that went to go see it didn't really understand it. You know, you had to grow up in places like New York City, grow up in the Times Square area where it's like, you know, you had all these movies playing all the time. You know, you also, you know, there's that joke of the billboard. You know, they kept playing that movie, three kung fu movies daily. You know, they kept playing that same movie. But that's a joke. But you know, you had stuff like that where basically you can go pay a couple bucks like $2 to $5, go see 3-4 movies at one time. And the quality wasn't that great because the print, this was the time before digital was coming in. It was still using reel to reel, using 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter, and a lot of times because they were using it so much, some of the reels were burnt, scratched, and stuff like that. But that made it really cool. I mean, now these days, as an person who's in the editing business, you could do all that kind of scratches purposely on certain, on your projects. And it's really cool to see stuff like that, being brought back when you had something like Grindhouse, which is 2 long movies, and all the commercials and gimmicks and everything like that, and to see that. But now, when you take Robert Rodriguez and you add James Cameron into the fold, you come out with something like this movie, the Alita Battle Angel movie, which when you look at the commercials, you're like, wow, this is really cool. But, back when they announced this, when you saw the first pictures, people were complaining, oh, her eyes, why are her eyes so big? They're trying to, and it's like, wow, really, you're going to go after the eyes. Then when the movie was coming out, oh, why does she have breasts like that? Oh my God, why? And it's just, you start to hear that Ryan O'Neal movie again.
Oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man.
And basically you just, this is the type of people you have out there. Now, with this report, the Cult of Alita Battle Angel, alt-right parable or neglected classic. Now, you may say to yourself, well, Zane, he may say it's a neglected classic. No, read the article. It's just literally a knock on the movie that says, if you like this movie, if you enjoyed this movie, you are part of the alt-right.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
You are part of the problem in this world. That you like the Orange Man. Orange Man bad. So that means you're bad too. And this is what I talk about, in the beginning of this this episode, is that basically, you have words that are triggering people, and when you hear that, that term, alt-right, it's incorrect. Because there are a lot of people who enjoy this, and they're not even conservative. They consider anybody who disagrees with their values, what they believe in, and they say, well, if you don't like what we like, you are alt-right. And there are many people. For example, Tim Pool. Tim Pool is a conservative left. Let me repeat that. Center left. He's center left. And people criticize him for criticizing the left, but he's doing right. That is correct. You can criticize both sides. I can criticize both sides. I don't always agree with our president, with some of the things our president goes. But has he done a good job? Yes, he has. But he's also up for criticism, but not to the criticism that is being thrown on him right now. And for everybody else, throughout. You had Captain Marvel come out, and people didn't like it. Brie Larson was going around saying these crazy things. If you're a white male, don't review it, blah, blah, blah. You don't say that. You start to damage your movie by that. You're an actress. You make a movie so people can enjoy it. But if you start to throw political rhetoric into your interviews and stuff like that, and then when you look at the movie and you're looking at it and the way some of the things that were thrown in there, like the way the Skrulls were portrayed, you're like, oh my God, what have they done? And then when you criticize it, you're like, well, if you've criticized this movie, you're anti-woman and you're anti, they're making, having a woman being a big hero. let me check something off for you. There have been leading women in movies for years. Do you understand? And I'll repeat it. There have been great leading ladies for years. Strong women going all the way back to even some of the black and white movies. There have been so many great films where there have been great leading actresses. And they've won awards too. You know, they make it sound like, oh my God, Brie Larson is the second coming. You know, they're like, oh my God, she's gotten a superhero. You know, have we not forgotten Sigourney Weaver? Have we not forgotten all the other women that have been in action flicks throughout the 80s, the 90s, you know, and the early 2000 period? There have been plenty of movies. I'll bring you up a good one. There's a great movie. It was a French film, and it was made into an American version of it with Bridget Fonda. Then it was made into a TV series, and it was called La Femme Nikita. A great, great action flick movie, okay? If you haven't seen it, see the original French version. But also do see the Bridget Fonda. The Bridget Fonda one is just as good. You know, for something that was made from overseas. I mean, they made a lot of changes and stuff like that, but they try to keep to the base structure of the movie, and they did a pretty good job on the American version. The TV series had its points, and they were pretty good, and then it just faltered on certain things, and that's why it didn't last. But still, it's a great watch as well. So when you sit there and says, well, you know, you're criticizing her because, you know, she's a woman on that. No, we're criticizing it because of the things she said and that the movie is lousy. Getting back to Alita, a lot of people have said, great movie, very well done. You know, there's a couple of things that are a little, you know, they could have tweaked here and there, which is okay. And basically, you know, it makes up for the movie. But overall, it was a good movie. It basically tributed to the original anime. If you haven't seen the original anime also, in fact, you could see it. I think that some people have uploaded the anime, the original print of it, online. I mean, in fact, on YouTube. You could see it on YouTube. It's on there. Just type it in. It's not long. It's like about an hour long. And it's a very good movie. I mean, you had a great cast in this movie. I mean, you had Rosa Salazar, Mashid Ali, Christopher Waltz, Jennifer Connelly. I mean, you had a good cast on it. You know, a diverse cast, a very diverse cast on there. You know, the director happens to be Spanish. You know, a lot of the great action flicks these days, you're seeing some great action flicks and great horror flicks that are coming from Spanish directors. You know, Guillermo del Toro. You know, just to say a little bit. But, you know, you have another, Robert Rodriguez. He's done a lot of great films. He's worked with Tarantino. You know, and he's done some good movies. Like I said, Grindhouse. Great. If you've not seen Grindhouse, and the thing about it is, if you want to see the real, true Tarantino Rodriguez Grindhouse, you have to find it in its total original format. Sometimes IFC runs it once in a while, but I'm talking the 3.5 hour version, which both movies are there, with all the great trailers made by different directors and the commercials from beginning to end. That's how I saw it. I went to the movie theater with my friends and I saw it, the full 3.5, it's like about 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 of this. And it was well worth seeing because of the way it was made. And, you know, I'm planning to see Alita Battle Angel probably tonight or tomorrow. I'll upload it on there. I'm waiting for the full digital version of it to upload. I'm not going to get it on Blu-ray because right now my Blu-ray ain't doing too well. So I'll probably get it after a while. But still, you know, to see that this movie, a great movie made by two great directors, one that did the Titanic and Avatar, which he's working on, was it two or three more Avatars? And then you have another director who's made some great horror, some great action, has his own network, the El Rey Network. If you haven't gotten the El Rey Network, get it now. No, I'm kidding. He's got a great network that basically revolves around all this great programming, all this type of action flicks and horror flicks and stuff like that. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that they haven't gone full digital on it. Generally, anything full screen, digital, 1080, you get over channel 500. This is like down in the 100s. So basically, you got the black bar on the left and the right, so the screen is not completely filled in. I mean, it's still digital quality, but it should be in the upper range by now. But you get a lot of politics when you're trying to get that done. It happens. But getting back to this, I mean, even the manga on Alita was very, very good. I mean, I did report yesterday, manga is making a major push here in the United States. Maybe we get some new ones from Alita on there now that it is popular. But getting back to the politics of this, I mean, when you read down on this guy, and he starts to throw in Gamergate, and he throws, he tried to push the thought that we're toxic because we liked it. He tries to say all these YouTubers and stuff. And see, this is what it is that you have people like this that are writing for the Independent and many other sites that act like this. They're in the mainstream media, and they're wondering why. They're losing money. They're losing, advertising dollars, where they have to lay off all these people because they're just literally clickbait. They're just 100%, 110% clickbait. It's like that joke that they had on South Park with all the little clickbait advertisements, and that it basically formed an intelligence trying to get everybody to click everything. Which is a good episode. That's a funny episode in itself. But when you think of the situation that you have a good movie like this, and there are people who enjoyed it, and then you try to throw a political spin and says, well, if you watch this movie, basically you're not supporting what we believe, and you're just literally the enemy. and this is the things. You go back in history and you go back to World War II. This is the things that Antifa and also the other group, which we can't even say the name of the group anymore because basically we get demonetized. But this is what they pushed, and this is why they got into power the way they did, this group in Germany, because they said some of the things like this as well. This is what's going on. If you're not with us, you're against us. Think about that for a minute. Really hardly think about it. Go back and look at that history. There are a lot of films that show that. I mean, there's even what was it? There was the TV series, the Strain, great vampire movie. If you haven't seen it on that, one of the characters happened to be a German soldier from that time period, and it showed a piece of it of some of the things they went through, and it was. Basically, at first he was a nice guy and he loved this girl and stuff like that. But then sort of like the family turned against, didn't like what was going on. And she was like, well, you got to help us and this and that. And he was being convinced that, listen, they are the enemy and all that. And the next thing you know, you see them, that they're hung in the middle of the square for basically having a different thought of what the party held. I mean, I hope we don't go to that direction, but the thing about it is, think about it. If you're telling somebody and they happen to be on the left and they don't agree with you, and they says, well, you're all right, you don't believe with us, you're the enemy. This is what's been happening, and it's basically gone crazy. The same thing is happening overseas. The thing that is just holding ground on us is that we have the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. And when you have people like this just chastising people just for a movie, a video game, we can criticize things. It's okay to criticize things. There's nothing wrong with giving critique, bad or good. But when you interject politics and say, listen, we want you to respect Captain Marvel. We want you to like that movie because there is a strong movie in it. But we don't want you to follow Alita because basically we don't like its values. We don't like the way the movie is. We don't like the people in the movie. And if you like that movie, you're not with us. You're totally against us. And, I tell you, go out, read the article, and you'll see it, how it is. And it's like I said, it's an insane article. And for them to throw Gamergate involved in there and a couple other things, like I said, it's all keywords were thrown in this. Keywords, you hear your misogyny and Gamergate and a lot of other words. And that's all this article is just a lot of clickbaiting words. So comment below. Tell me how you feel. Did you see Alita? Did you feel that it was good? Well, let me take a sip of water here. Did you see this movie? Did you enjoy it? Are you buying it on Blu-ray when it comes out? Or are you digitally downloading it on there? I mean, did you not like it? What didn't you like about it? Tell me in the comments below. Keep the conversation going down there. Don't forget, we're on BitChute, Minds, and Gab.com. Basically, we're there. We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. I mean, we're still on Facebook. We're still on Twitter. But we don't show too much of a presence. We're not talking too much other than we'll give an acknowledgement that the video's up there. We're hardly even on Reddit anymore. It's like Reddit ain't worth it anymore because it's totally insane in that platform. But do check us out on these other ones. Subscribe to us. Like I said, we appreciate that you subscribe to us because you, the viewer, are important to us. You. Doesn't matter which side you're on. If you're left, if you're right, if you're up, you're down. Don't matter what it is. You're our viewer. And basically, we enjoy that you come and click on our shows, watch them, and enjoy them. That's important. That's always been a value to us here at Cuticast TV, even long before YouTube was ever created. We were, like I said, we were doing shows long before the internet was, the internet. We came around at the very beginning. You wouldn't even think that you were running shows off the internet. Now we are. So here we go. Here we are. Subscribe, like, support, share. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the middle of the week tomorrow. Oh, hump day. You gotta love hump day. So we'll see you there. We have some more stories coming. Check us out. Subscribe, like, support, share. Well, bye-bye now. Enjoy your evening.